Hey everybody, my name is Audrey. I am the founder and CEO of Adaptable Strategy, and my years of marketing experience are showing right now in my roots, which is fine. I'm going to go see my girl later this week to have her fix that. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of go through some things. I know that this is I'm working on building some content online just simply because I've been working on building out. I've worked for multiple corporations. I've worked for myself. I've worked for, and I've worked with companies of all sizes. And I've decided recently to start doing some more stuff on a more organic level, just simply because I wanted some more time to be free. My overall goal, which I'm very excited to share with you and pretty much anybody who will listen, is to be completely transient by the year 2021. I want to go ahead and travel a lot. I'll be moving around the country with hopefully my youngest daughter, who said she's going to take a gap year after she graduates. So the plan is we're renovating currently, and I wish I could show you an RV picture, but we're renovating an RV that we bought. We're going to take that around the country initially, and then I'm going to probably sell it and maybe move to something smaller, and then do a tour through Europe. So kind of go from there. But everything with laptop and phone in tow, which is exactly what I'm doing. So I've done marketing strategy and business development for a number of companies. I've done it for myself. So whether you're an entrepreneur or you are an existing business and you're an executive in that existing business, or you happen to be somebody who is an executive, or you've got a lot of experience doing something and you're just not sure what to do next, you kind of want another move, but you're not sure how all the pieces could fall into place and how you can get started doing this. That's why I'm creating these programs, because it's the same whether you're just starting out or you're scaling. There's a little bit of technical stuff that if you're just starting out, you need to kind of get comfortable with, but you may be comfortable with that already in your existing market. So just as full disclaimer, I do have schedules and I do consultations all the time. I also am trying to do a lot more webinars, so I'm scheduling out a bunch of those right now. And I even have a whole PDF that if you want it, just comment it, and I'll reach out to you with a message, and I'll make sure that you get it. And then I'll put a link where you can actually just download the PDF just for free. And it's basically how you can kind of scale your company, the questions to ask, whether you're just starting out or you have an existing company, to go ahead and it's just a success strategy for a 12-week program. So basically, like, where are you now? Where are you going? Et cetera. And it kind of helps answer those questions for you. So it makes it a little bit easier. So that's kind of a little background on me. I just wanted to make sure that I said that. I am, like I said, I am working on both an ebook, and I'm working on a regular webinar and podcasting series, and building out my consulting company altogether. So, or the consulting side of things, where I'm more transient and less tied to a physical location, which does mean that I will travel. Yay. So I want to help you in your business any way I can. And then, so this is the Feng Shui and finding your niche or your niche in the market. Again, welcome to my newly Feng Shui bedroom at the moment. I'm just moved into a new condo and downsized quite a bit. I have 4 kids, 2 of whom are grown, and 2 boys, and then 2 girls who are home with me. And we just moved into a smaller apartment, smaller condo, and I live based in Nashville. And then, so one of the things that I wanted to do was to go ahead and talk about how I talk a lot about people's mindset. So you have to find out where you are right now in order to do anything moving forward, right? So you always have to have your state of the union, another way of calling it. So you've got to clear your space, identify your space, identify what's going on both in business and in your personal life, to be able to know that you're going to be able to concentrate, or you're going to be able to give it your full attention. And sometimes I get it. Life is busy. Like I said, I was a single parent of 4 kids. Get it. It's busy sometimes. But if you can carve out some time where you can just sit and actually go through the steps, I promise you're going to find yourself on the better end of things moving forward. So with that said, the Feng Shui is all about, and I'm not a huge practitioner, so if anybody is, feel free to go ahead and chat about it. But I've always sort of been a believer in the secret, which is all about energy. And the energy, basically energy goes where attention, or so energy flows where attention goes, essentially. So if you put your energy and attention into something negative, you're going to find something negative. If you put your energy and attention into something positive, guess what? You're going to find something positive, and these things are just going to start to come to you because you've created the open space. You've cleared the space in your mind. You've cleared the space in your office. You've cleared the space in your business to make things happen. So it's the same. And so because we just moved, my life was kind of like turned upside down, I guess you would say. I was deciding what stuff I wanted to keep for the kids, what stuff I didn't want to keep for the kids, what I wanted to keep for me versus not. In the end, the eventual plan is to downsize into an RV that will be traveling in full time. So step one was going from larger condo, townhouse, to now a much smaller townhouse condo, which I love. But it was the step one in kind of culling things after being in one place for such a long time. So in this space that is now my sort of my room, and I kind of do this. I'll even share it. There's this double space. I've still got to hang that one piece, but in this space that is my room, I had to find out. Okay, do some quick research. Thankfully, there's lots of gurus on the internet for that, and lots of advice and blog posts and information. And that's what we do. We live in a world of information. So I was interested in making sure that my layout, I love interior design anyway, kind of a side little fun artsy project for me. And so I wanted to make sure that my space was clear and clean, and also sort of paid homage to all the positive energy coming in, and of course, keeping or deflecting negative energy or out. So in any home, I feel like that's kind of like, you want your home to be comfortable and you want people to feel welcome. So adding that extra layer of intent and intention is the best way to do it. And that's been around for thousands upon thousands of years. So being that I don't know very much about it, I did actually take a compass reading of my front door, and then I've been slowly applying and moving things around where I had originally positioned things in different places. There was just a bird that just landed on my wind chime outside. And so with that, like I said, first I started with the broader side of things. Okay, I knew I wanted to do the Feng Shui. I wanted to look at it. Okay, well, I needed to go dig down. Question number one, what do I need to know next? Well, I needed to know, well, all right, well, how is my place situated? So next Google search. Then it went from, how is it situated? Okay, well, what's best for a bedroom versus a kitchen versus the living room versus these sections of my home that I want to, what things are recommended for each section with the intention that they're in a certain room. Now see how detailed that gets, and I promise you it gets even worse / better. So as I was digging down and drilling down and just absorbing information, I was also kind of cleaning and vacuuming and throwing things away and moving furniture around. And so, for example, I used to have a desk in my room, even though I have a sunroom that I use even in this new place for my office. But I have more laptops, so laptops go anywhere, right? So I had this comfortable space that I have out there that I just enjoy drinking tea in the morning and a little bit of meditation and a little bit of just thoughts, journaling. And what I didn't have out there was a desk, but I did have pillows, and I kind of made my own little lap desk thing, and then worked with it a little bit. So in this space and in this learning from the Feng Shui, I decided to go ahead and move my desk from my room all the way out to the sunroom, and I got rid of a piece of furniture in order to put it there. I measured twice and moved once, and now that space is going to be a little bit more conducive to just when I need to sit at a desk and concentrate and think, even from placement of where the lamp is placed, based on and certain pieces of artwork, certain pieces of inspirational things, I am very consciously placing each piece based on the fundamental principles of Feng Shui and what they are suggesting. I promise you, this does play into marketing. This is me now, and I realized I just created this space outside, and what am I doing? I'm still hanging out in my room right now, which is awesome. But with the Feng Shui in my room, I'm more done with this room right now than I am anything else. So it's the closest that I'm done with the house. And so I've been just moving and changing and specifically taking small items that I love and putting them in certain places. So same thing applies with marketing. And that's kind of where I was going with this. So what did I do, right? I knew my state of the union. Okay, I moved in. I'm still kind of putting things away. I'm getting organized. I actually even changed my bed linens to a different kind because I'd had some newer ones that I bought a new duvet cover and stuff. And with the color scheme of what was supposed to be in this particular area of my room, it wasn't working. And I'm still on scouting, and I'm still scouting side pillows, by the way. I'm still scouting other pillows. But the reason I'm going with this is that with marketing, it's the same thing. You've got to do the same thing. You take this you sit back, you take this assessment, self-assessment, whether it's what you'd like to do or what you're currently doing. So basically it's like, what am I currently doing? What am I currently good at? Let's say and this is a lot easier if I have somebody to talk to because I like to just interactive stuff. So if you ever want to do like a live Zoom call with me and I will, help you coach you through something, 15 minutes, I'll be starting to do some of those where I'll offer a few questions back and forth. I just want to be able to help you help me essentially, because what it'll do is as I'm creating and fleshing out this program a little bit more in depth, it helps me to understand what people are really, really wanting information wise and what I can give them. I've been been doing this over 20 years now. So at this point in time, I feel like sometimes my thinking is up here and most people's needs are pretty basic. So first thing we do is we say, identify. Okay, let's say you're an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur, or you want to be an entrepreneur. You're not there yet. What are you good at? 5 things you're good at, or 1 thing you're good at, but the 5 reasons why you're really good at them. Whether you've been doing it for X number of years, it's something you're passionate about. Certain things that would establish you as your expertise level, etc. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just right in a row. Okay, and then from there, it would be like, okay, well, who do I already know that has asked me for these questions? Who do I already know that has, and what have they asked me specifically? Were they in-depth questions? Were they specifically related to a certain type of account that I already have in my own business, in a business I'm working in? Were they related to my networking skills? Were they related to my my Rolodex, where they worked on the deals I was able to put together? Was it data? I'm really good at data. So you kind of figure out what those people were asking you and then what they took away from it. So a lot of times, I worked in sales and marketing again for so long, and I still am, obviously. So the thing is that you just start by doing basically your own client needs analysis on yourself. Okay, so you start with saying, okay, who am I? What do I want? Where am I now? And then it's like, okay, well, where do I want to be? What do I want to do, or what do I see myself doing? For me, it's I want to help as many people as possible. I love to grow businesses. It's so much fun for me. The last company I worked with was 50 million. They were a $50 million company a year. And in 9 months that I was working with them, turned that around to over 100 million and counting. And they're still experiencing growth because they're still putting in those things that we just implemented. We're just launching at that time. So in a very short period of time, we were able to implement some referral programs, implement new advertising strategy, and they were already seeing immediate growth. In fact, that same company had, from January to June of 2018, had 20,000 leads that they had coming in, and then that were physically calling or that they had interaction with. And then from January to June of 2019, they had over 65,000. So we more than tripled. I more than tripled with the collective. We more than tripled the leads that they were coming in, but just by some simple strategies we put in place. So when you say what you wanted to do, of course, everybody says, yes, I want to grow. Great. Growing is easy. Growing is easy, but you want to do it smart, right? So you want to grow where you're not sacrificing your customer experience. A lot of times that does suffer. So you got to come at it with a customer experience thought process behind it. 2, you've got to grow and scale where you're not going to lose. If you lose somebody in your office, you need to be able to make sure that there's a quick turnaround, so that if you're slam busy, you're, 1, not overloading an employee. 2, that everybody in that department has certain things in place so that they can scale for growth immediately. Like, for instance, if you know that you're going to launch an ad campaign and you know your operations team is already sort of stretched to the limit, you might want to think about pre-gaming a little bit and having either resumes lined up or an extra person that might even be part-time, or an extra, it's just, you have to have a plan, even if it's not yet implemented, a plan for what happens if this is way more successful than I thought it was going to be. What happens if these things all start to just funnel in leads and funnel in customers? How's my sales team performing? What are they doing right now? What's their percentages? You gotta look at all the data, everything. If you're an entrepreneur, obviously you don't have much data, but do you have a sales experience? If you're not good at selling yourself, that's fine. Do you have somebody who will help sell your product for you? Do you have an affiliate program that you can, or a referral program that you can go to your Rolodex and say, hey, listen, so-and-so, I know I've known you for 25 years. I'm really excited. I'm starting to do some consulting work. I'm doing it on the side, kind of everything that we're going to plan for this vacation, or kind of phase myself out eventually. And just really noticed that there was a niche market for it. Thought I'd just, get my feet wet and see what this is all about, etc. Who do you already know that can already help you get to where you want to go? Just even move the needle from here to here, not very far, a little bit. Who do you already have in your Rolodex? And chances are you probably have a lot of people. Trusted advisors, trusted friends, trusted coworkers. Those people will also help you find your niche, right? They're going to tell you what, if you sit down and take them to lunch, it's worth it. Take them for a glass of wine. It's worth it. Because what they're going to do is they're going to give you that valuable feedback that you need so desperately in order to move your needle in your head forward. Again, that extra steps. They're going to help drill down, because sometimes, though you can't see the forest through the trees adage, having somebody else or having a collective of other people give you information about how you are providing information, right? Or how you are a wealth of knowledge in a certain, very specific portion of your field. You can't take the amount of time that shortens from, try this to success rate. If 3 people say the same thing to you out of 10, you already know you've got a really good option that 3 people have said you're amazing at this and you should probably be pursuing it. So then after you have that, it gets even further, because you're going to put it in even tighter. Then you define your actual ideal customer, right? So who's your ideal customer? Who's going to pay you the money? Where are they going to get it? What's your price point going to look like? How much time do you have to devote to this? Realistically, especially if you're a want to be entrepreneur and you have a full-time job, you have to be very careful about protecting the time you do have available, because you want to keep and maintain that work-life balance, of course. And so you want to be able to make sure you structure your time appropriately. It is a 24/7 world. People do understand that if you want to get somewhere, most people do open on a Saturday, or some people do have it after hours, because hey, if they're also talking to other executives who are also busy, sometimes the lunch hours, you're able to do an 11 to 1 kind of time frame window where you're able to do something, and because you're going to work late, or you're able to block off time in the morning or time in the evening. With all the time zones and all the possibilities, you can make something work within your schedule. Okay. So I always kind of give that, because that's another big piece that a lot of people forget. So as you sort of find down and you're fine tuning, it comes down to the placement of individual pieces. Okay, well, and just ask the questions. What was so valuable? What did I give you that was valuable, and how did it work in your business? Or how was it helpful to you? Is this how do you like to consume information? Do you like when we do Zoom calls? Do you like a phone call? Do you like text messaging? Do you like reading something? If I were to put together a slideshow and then you could just kind of just digest it on your own time. Asking all these questions helps to further you finding your niche, not niche, whatever. I always stumble over that one every time. And it helps you define not just your path, but it helps you also to define your audience even further. Now, wonderful thing about online marketing, and especially in recent days, years, etc., really days and months and weeks, is that you can target even more specifically than you ever have been able to before. ever. If you want moms who like organic foods and only wear spandex on Tuesdays, you can probably find that group. If you want people who show up in yoga pants and or you want to find executives who are C-level executives who are in a certain metro area, you can geofence them. You can target who they are interested in this but not interested in that, etc. You can find them. You can get that market down, that target market down to this much, and then your advertising dollars in order to promote your product to that ideal customer who you've already shaped the product to fit that ideal customer. And because you may have several product offerings, you've shaped it to fit that ideal customer. You're able to then market and spend a smaller portion of your advertising budget or a smaller portion per lead. You might have to pay a higher cost per lead, but you already know that instead of shooting fish in a barrel, you're shooting fish in a barrel instead of shooting into the ocean and hoping you shoot something. It's a lot easier the more you're actually defining that audience and narrowing it down. Now, it's simple. That is basic marketing. Marketing will tell you define your audience, define your, be targeted, and then repeat it, A/B test it, find out what works, price points, what are people consuming, how are people reacting, where are they dropping off. From there on, you can refine it. So, cannot believe I've been talking for 21 minutes already. But I wanted to just kind of, I know nobody has really ever seen my live stream here because I've never done a live stream on here. I've done a couple of videos talking about the webinars that I have, and I've done a couple of videos talking about price perception versus reality, which is one of my favorite ones. I would love to work with you and your business. And if there's any way, in any shape or form, I can be of any help to you, I would definitely love to do it. This is me, no makeup, hair needs to be dyed, no nails done, very, very raw. Again, just moved, so there's no time for the fancy things at the moment. But I will normally glam it up every now and then, a little bit more than this. But hey, you know what? I'm myself. I barely wear makeup, and I think that I'm rough and ready to basically. I get my hands dirty, roll my sleeves up, put my sneakers on, and let's get to work, whether it be mentally or physically. So anything I can do to be of service to you, please let me know. I look forward to kind of seeing what the feedback is as I continue to do this and move forward from there. So hope you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday. And I'm going to go feng shui the rest of my office and home for a little bit tonight. Have a great day.